one of those being worth or the worthiness of God. And the ending, I forget if it's prefix or suffix, I guess it's suffix. The suffix at the end of ship, telling the quality of the worth. If you have a friend, it is different than a friendship. You can have someone who's an acquaintance, but that's a whole lot different than being in friendship. The ending there is telling us of the quality of the relationship. And so here, when he talks about, or when we're asking this question about worship, do we have an attitude of worship toward our God, our relationship with God? Is it qualified? Does it fall in the category of a worship relationship, meaning that his worthiness is seen in all that we do, in all that we understand, all that we think? Are we seeing and grabbing hold of the worthiness of God in everything? We have a worship attitude toward God. Is our attitude toward God segmented? That in some areas of life, he has our full attention, but not in this area. And I heard this just this morning. I heard someone just on the radio. Don't even know exactly who they were. But they said something that I've thought of for several years and kind of came back to mind. That we have a tendency to call on God when it's things that we can't figure out for ourselves. When I don't know the answer, then I fall on my knees and I call on him. But this morning the question is, do you have a relationship with him that demonstrates he is worthy in everything? Because even in the things that I can grab hold of, I am subject. Good thing my wife's not here this morning. I am subject to error. Now don't go tweeting, telling people. We're just going to move right along. Or do I fall on my knees? Is the totality of my relationship with him dependent on him for everything? My mind's just going back to that man in 2 Samuel, who they said that when he spoke, it was like hearing from God. Every time they got advice from this man, it was like hearing from God himself. And so when they would hear from him, they didn't have to think or ask, because they knew that this man was one who walked with God. And one day God allowed him to be used to confuse them, to trip them up, to send them down the wrong direction. Because they were relying on this man who's always right, who always hears from God, who always knows the voice of God. And so let's just put our trust in him. If he says go, then let's go. You've got to be careful. Just because you've done a thing 500 times, on the 501st time, search the Lord. I know how to do this. I know which way to go. I know how to get there. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. So let me just do what I know how to do. In everything, in anything, worship the Lord. Show, demonstrate, come to him because he is worthy. Every answer